What's going on, everybody? It is I, Strix, back at it with more Marvel Snap, and today we're looking at an OTA, October 12th balance update. Looks like they've decided to address some changes to the game that'll make it a little bit more fair, some things that need to be adjusted in terms of the way the meta is being played. So, let's just dive into it. Rapid fire, let's take a look and see what they did and just the initial thoughts of how it's gonna go. First of all, we got your boy Forge, old 2-1. On reveal, give the next card you play plus 3 power. New 1-1. On reveal, give the next card you play plus 2 power. So I think that Forge has been getting a lot of use since its last previous update. Before it used to give plus 2 power, now giving plus 3 power. And we know that just that 1 point by plus 3, there's a lot of people exploiting that. This is the reason why I think that Elsa is going to get a nerf pretty soon for her ability, because it's creating too many power combo problems between her and Kitty. But we're talking about Forge. Now, two things to address. One is that it's going to go back to plus 2 power. I think that's fair because a lot of people have been playing Forge in combination with other cards, specifically Brood and Mr. Sinister. To copy up their copies. But the second thing is that it's going to be more interesting to see how it plays as a 1-1. A 1-cost card will allow more flexibility to be able to play with other lower cost cards. So we'll see how that goes. There's some ideas of like, okay, maybe it's going to work with like Beast or Falcon, being able to use in a bounce deck to use its ability over and over again. We'll see. I'm going to definitely try it out and see how that works. I'm going to build a deck around that and see if we can really make those combinations that they're saying happen. Let's talk about ALIOTH. Old 6-5 on reveal. Destroy all enemy cards played here this turn, including unrevealed cards. They're changing that to 6-5, now to 6-3. So let's be real. ALIOTH, I think, has been one of the biggest, baddest cards since its debut. It works well in Galactus. Obviously, that's why they had to nerf Galactus. It's worked well in so many other kinds of decks because it's just, let's be real, pretty OP. But I think the main issue is that it really is take away a lot from it. So the main thing that they decided to do, okay, let's bring that down from a 6-5 down to a 6-3. So this changes the way it plays for two things. One, ALIOTH really does thrive if you have stronger priority. And I think if you make the card 6-3 while battering for priority, it makes it a little bit more challenging to be able to win a location. So you have to be more craftier with how you play that. But secondly, it also opens up an option for Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi has lost a lot of love in the game because of ALIOTH. Because ALIOTH is, let's be real, being able to destroy cards that are unrevealed is pretty good. So that basically said, okay, why bother using Shang-Chi if ALIOTH is just much better? So now the option opens up for Shang-Chi to be a different option, or you can have even both. Now you have the option. If you're high prio, then perfect, you can use ALIOTH. But if you're low prio, then Shang-Chi would be a better option. Plus, you have other options to play other cards along with Shang to get that little edge you need. So, I knew ALIOTH was coming. Everyone saw it coming. It was obvious I needed to go bring it down. Is this the best way to nerf him? Who knows? I think the including unrevealed cards is still a key part of his ability. Will that change? Again, we can't say for sure, but I think that might be addressed later on, the same way they kind of addressed the biggest issue with Galactus before. But time will tell. Now on to Shuri, old 4-2. On revealed, if you play your next card at this location, double its power. They have changed that to 4-2 to now a 4-1. Now, I get it. I mean, Shuri is just a very good card in general. You compare it with cards like Kitty Pryde. The biggest one is Power Play with Red Skull. You can use it along with cards like, I've used it for combos with Black Panther and then using a Taskmaster. There's a lot of ways to use it. The way I see it is that Shuri is more of a utility card than a big player card. Like, it's not going to make a big difference on the board in terms of numbers, because when you're talking about doubling something, that's going to make the more difference than just 1 or 2 points, unless it's very close. I don't really think this was a necessary change. I get that maybe they were looking at stats and saying, okay, maybe they want to do it. But in my eyes, Shuri is just a support. Doesn't matter. Heck, you can make her 4-0 and it would still be a more enticing option than, say, any other card. Like, I would prefer to use Shuri over Forge as a buff because it's double, right? And the way that Shuri is used in other decks, again, like Kitty Pryde and Red Skull decks, I feel like this is not going to change that much. The Widow's Bite. Black Widow. Old was a 0-0. While this card is in your hand, you can't draw cards. They changed it now to become a 0-0 to a 0-1. Now, I think that this is a very unique change to the game, to a card, and I think it's brilliant. I feel like Black Widow doesn't have that much utility you can provide. Like, it's already a 2-1. It's pretty weak. Again, it's a support card. With a Black Widow, you use it for fodder for other cards like Carnage. Like, I don't see any other way to like really help that situation. But I think giving Widow's Bite a second ability, second negative ability towards my opponent is so much better. Giving it a -1 is now more detrimental to my opponent. Even again, it's by 1 point. That can make a difference in certain games. So I think this is a really good option, especially now because we have cards like Elsa that now will benefit from having cards like the Widow's Bite just to fill the field. I'm like, okay, fine, I'll fill the field. I'll be able to use Elsa a lot easier. I'm looking at it in terms of like the current meta. So it is just a little bit of a two-prong attack, which I really like. So I'm excited to see how this can create some really close matches. And finally, let's talk about the Tiger Spirit for White Tiger. Old 5-7, it is now a 5-8. I feel like, and there was a lot of plays. I think before, the White Tiger Wong play was one of the most popular strategies. Like White Tiger as a card, sending out the Tiger Spirits all over the board was one of the most popular plays. I feel like it has gotten less and less popular with the emergence of new and other more numerical plays. I think with this little boost, it's going to give it a little more oomph. And it's in that perfect area of high power that it can avoid cards like Shang-Chi, other cards that can destroy, and it's just enough of a multiplier. Like, theoretically speaking, if one location had nothing but White Tigers, the max you can get was 28, which can be easily overcome with, Red Skull, if it was doubled by Shuri. Now, if we're looking at a location full of White Tiger Spirits, it's now max is going to be 32, so that edges it out a little bit. So I can see how having that one little boost, a little point boost to the Tiger Spirit can make a big difference in games. So I'm happy to see it. I want to see how it will really change if that number is going to be a big difference. Because, again, it's just right underneath that big Shang-Chi 9 that you're looking for that is going to cause foils in some people's plan. So, who knows? Let's see how well this will go. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching and listening to me. Who knows how these updates are really going to change up the flavor of the game. I'm personally excited for some of these changes and seeing how well it's going to work with new metas. So yeah, you see how it is. Go out there, remake your decks, and I think just have fun. So until then, keep on snapping, my friends.